This image of a young, supposedly starving boy has become the billboard for the plight of Palestinians in Gaza. But not all is as it seems. After the image went viral and condemnation of Israel grew louder, it was revealed that the boy pictured, named Mohammed Zakaria al-Matawak, actually suffers from an existing muscle disorder health condition. The New York Times issued an amendment to their article saying, "We recently ran a story about Gaza's most vulnerable citizens, including Mohammed Zakaria al-Matawak, who is about 18 months old and suffers from severe malnutrition. We have since learnt new information, including from the hospital that treated him and his medical records, and have updated our story to add context about his pre-existing health problems. This additional detail gives readers a greater understanding of his situation." But for some, the correction doesn't go far enough. This commentator said, "Way too late. This correction will get 1/1000th of the reach. The story was a blood libel against Jews everywhere. You should have a long, hard look in the mirror and reassess what's going on at your paper." And this wasn't the first time this has happened. 5-year-old Osama al-Rakaba's emaciated image was also used by multiple outlets to push their anti-Israel agenda, despite it being revealed that the boy was not emaciated by starvation, rather had a genetic illness and was said to be flown out by the IDF for treatment in Italy, according to the Times of Israel. Lawyer and pro-Israel activist Brooke Goldstein slammed these images, saying, "We aren't seeing images of widespread adult starvation like we've seen in Bangladesh or Sudan. We're seeing isolated, hyper-curated images of children designed to exploit the viewer's compassion and weaponize emotion for political gain. That's not journalism. That's Hollywood. Propaganda disguised as journalism." And whilst these viral images have been proven to lack context, there's no denying the situation in Gaza is dire. Even Donald Trump can't deny it.
Can I ask about the First Lady? You mentioned a couple of weeks ago her role in talking to you about the war in Ukraine, and perhaps a big part of your evolution in thinking. Have you discussed the crisis in Gaza and the terrifying...
I have, and she thinks it's terrible, and she sees the same pictures that you see, and that we all see, and I think everybody, unless they're pretty cold-hearted or worse than that, nuts. There's nothing you can say other than it's terrible when you see the kids, and those are kids, whether they talk starvation or not, those are kids that are starving. They are starving, and you see the mothers, they love them so much, and there's just nothing they seem to be able to do. They got to get them food, and we're going to get them food.
But whilst most blame Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu maintains it is the fault of Hamas.
Why do they say Israel's starving the people of Gaza?
Well, because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in, and guess what happens when we let them in? Hamas steals the food, takes the good chunk for itself, then they jack up the prices, and then they sell the food to its population, to its hungry population, if they give them it all. And then use the money that they take from their own people to recruit more killers into their terror machine.
Former Special Envoy for Combating Anti-Semitism, Noah Tishby, doubled down.
There is hunger in Gaza. There isn't, however, an intentional campaign to starve the people of Gaza, not by Israel. The question that needs to be asked right now is, why is the situation in Gaza so dire, and who's responsible? Here's what we need to know. Hamas just declined another ceasefire deal. They've refused to accept the deal proposed by the US, Qatar, and Israel for an increase in aid through vetted channels. Hamas does not want to stop Palestinian suffering. It serves their cause.
She added,
Hamas is using starvation as leverage. They've looted UN trucks, placed bounties on US humanitarian group staff, and killed civilians trying to access aid. When Palestinians starve and headlines around the world reads, Israel is starving Gaza, Hamas gains more international sympathy. And meanwhile, Hamas hoards and controls the aid as they wish.